So, my friend, you've been looking at this economy and you're like, child, these 9 to 5s ain't cutting it. My teaching job ain't cutting it. That customer service, that nursing, that social work, that workplace racism is not cutting it. But they keep telling you on the news, they keep saying, oh, unemployment is at its lowest. Black people have the most jobs that they've ever had before. But you and your friends, y'all talking and y'all like, I don't believe it because right now I'm stressed and I don't have the type of financial freedom that I want. Let me put you on a little game, okay? It's something called freelance writing where I get paid and people like me get paid to write. Yes, ma'am. I said write. Like type on my laptop and write some wonderful stories, write some beautiful things. And my clients pay me top dollar to do this. In fact, one of my clients just renewed their contract for an entire year and we've been working together for 6 months. Now, this contract is a $3,000 contract, okay? And let me tell you how much I work. I do not work 40 hours a week. I'm a mother of 5. I do not have time or the capacity or the mindset. I am also a wife to work. Nobody's 40 hours a week. And so instead, I sit here and type these beautiful emails that takes maybe a few hours out of my day, 2 hours out of my day, but I get paid like I work full time. And I also teach other writers how to become well-paid writers. So welcome to my corner of the internet. You are watching Journey with us. We're a digital nomad family of 7 traveling throughout Southeast Africa. And part of the reason we do that is because we own this content marketing agency. And so if you're looking at me right now and you're like, what is content marketing? Ma'am, sir, let me tell you. Content marketing is the lifeline of a business. Every single business on planet Earth needs writers and they need a lot of them, and not just any writers. They don't want nobody's AI regurgitated writers, people that don't know grammar, people that don't have a true passion for storytelling. They're looking for people like you and I that always had good grades in writing, loved language arts, and know how to tell a darn good story, okay? And so content marketing is exactly what it sounds like. Content is like the stuff that you see on social media. Like, this is a piece of content, this video you're watching. But the people that need writers, they want people who are going to be writing blogs, social media captions, email campaigns, sometimes ebooks, articles, video sales letters, or just sales letters in general, podcast notes, all sorts of different types of pieces of content. And that is the marketing aspect, the content marketing. Now, like I said, the bread and butter of this is the writers, because the writers are the thinkers and the strategists behind these multi-million dollar campaigns. And y'all know America loves multi-million dollar campaigns, but here's the issue. Sometimes they go into these campaign rooms and they didn't include somebody that looks like you and I. And so then they put out these campaigns that are tone deaf, that are a little bit racist, that are a little bit rude. And then they go back to the drawing board like, why didn't we have a black writer or a black writer or a black marketer on our team? And so they're like, man, I don't know how to find a black marketer. But if we could find one, we would be willing to pay them top dollar. And ma'am, sir, that's where you come in. And you just politely tell them, yes, I have X, Y, and Z experience because I started my own blog last year. I started building my own email list. I started my own social media profile. And then you pop up on the scene and tell them what you're available to give them. And so you are working as a business person, a contractor coming in to advise this business on what sounds good. How do you know what sounds good? Because you have empathy, because you are a consumer type, because you are the type of person they're looking to connect with, but they just don't have the right words yet. And half the times they put the words out and they sound insane. And then their brand is in a hot mess. They come into this hot mess tornado. If they would just have somebody like you on the team, you could have came in and helped them. But I'm here to tell you today, you should probably stop whatever you're doing, take out a pen and a notebook, and write down these tips that I have for you to become a freelance writer in 2024. Number 1, you're going to choose a niche. A niche is simply an area of expertise. Hopefully it's something that you have a background in, be it social work, nursing, teaching, like the way that I teach the Black educators. and Black Educators Amplified, how to become well-paid education consultants, right? If you're a teacher, if you have any historical degrees, if you like to research history and stuff like that, marketing, customer service, project management, productivity. The list goes on, because you would even be shocked to know that there's actual food and restaurant writers, because, ma'am, sir, all across all the cities and all the states in America, there are restaurants, but they need people that love restaurants and love food, foodies, photography, that love all that kind of stuff, to write for their Instagram profiles and to bring traction and to bring customers into their doors. And so that's where you come in as a writer. So number one, choose your niche. For example, I'm a finance writer. I work for finance companies. I work for banks. I work for financial consultants. I work for tax strategists. I work for finance tech companies, and I also work for education tech companies as well, right? And so I go online on my handy dandy laptop right here, and you know what I do? I sit here from Southeast Africa and I get online and I come up with beautiful stories. Sometimes the stories have to do with what I'm looking at, like the palm trees and the coconuts outside. Sometimes the stories have to do with the market research that I'm performing for these businesses, because they don't have time to do it themselves because they are so busy. And so you're going to find your niche. That's number one. Go ahead, write that down. Write down your niche. And if you don't know what your niche is, I invite you to look at your work history and join us inside of Write Your Way to Revenue 2.0, because this is the 13th workshop that I'm hosting to train other writers just like you. So if you're someone right now, you're like, well, I kind of did always have a knack for writing. I have been obsessed with grammar. I do love editing. Ma'am, sir, come on in the workshop so you can come and get some of this bag, because there is enough resources to go around for every writer. I believe that every writer deserves to get paid well, because you are the bread and butter of how a business is going to make money. Okay. So number two, after you choose your niche, like I said, I'm a finance writer. Now, after you choose your niche, you're going to choose the type of writing. I personally specialize in email marketing. I write emails most of the day. I also write website page copy. I write podcast notes. I write blogs, but the bulk of the work I do is email marketing, okay? And so you're going to have to decide if you want to write on social media, if you want to write via emails, if you want to write via blogs. When I first started out, I became a blog writer, and I would write for interior design companies. Now, I didn't know nothing about interior design, but I do know how to perform research, and I do know how to write a well-written article. And so even if you're someone that's like, man, I don't have any experience in anything, I promise you that you do. Even if you're a mom. If you're a mom, then you have experience being a parent, being a woman, being a wife, being a mother. And so guess what, ma'am? You can write about that, and you should write about that, because I actually just saw an opening earlier this morning via the Lactation Network where they need a writer. I'm like, oh, that's such a good writing job. Like, that seems really fun, but I'm booked out right now, so I can't take on that writing job. But I really wish I had a circle of trained writers that I could just refer them to all these writing opportunities that come across my virtual desk, because people are always telling me how they need writers, and I'm like, I don't have time. I'm in my finance bag right now and the education bag right now, so I can't help you. But I do wish I knew some people. So go ahead, check out the link in the description so you can sign up to Write Your Way to Revenue, because this $187 class is going to propel you forward to make six figures in writing if you want to take it that far. At least 4 figures a month, because day in, day out, as the months go by, we were just looking at our PayPal sales insights and some of our business insights for the content marketing agency, and we're up 46% this year. Our orders have increased, our writing capabilities have increased, and our clientele has increased with having less clients. Now, I know you're like, how does that make sense? How do you have less clients and you make more money? Well, my clients that I work with, they are high caliber, top notch, multi-million-dollar companies, Black owned brands too. So all those folks that tell you out here, oh, Black people don't have no money, they're lying. Straight up lying. All my clients are Black. 90% of my clients are Black people. So Somebody's lying. Somebody's not telling y'all the truth. And so if you can even perceive that there is a market out there for you, because Black businesses, they are woke. They want to hire other Black writers. They're 100% not going to hire a white writer most of the time, just because they don't know how to speak the language of the people, okay? And so it's so important for these businesses to connect to other writers who understand their people and understand their ideal audience. Even when white-owned firms, e-commerce brands, whatever the brand is, when they want to be cool and they want to be seen as hip, they want to be seen as popular, guess whose community they're going to? They're going to the Black community, okay? And they're going to put Black people up in their marketing collateral, and they're going to hire Black people to come on and help them as writers to get the vision right. Because a lot of times in these corporate boardroom meetings, there's no Black person in there. There's no person of color to tell them, ma'am, sir, don't write that. That sounds crazy. Don't write that. Write this instead. So if you're someone that's ever been good with words like that, if you're a teacher and you're good with words, if you're a social worker, if you are in education, if you are in finance, right? And I didn't even have a background in finance, and I got into finance. How? Because I started getting results for finance firms. And so I've worked with over 221 different businesses over my 8-year tenure as a freelance writer. And it has been the time of my life. Like, if somebody would have sat folks down in elementary school and high school and college and said, hey, you know, freelance writing is a career trajectory, child did this out the gate, because I've always loved writing just as a person. Like, I journal all the time. I write about everything. Like, if I don't do nothing else with the rest of my life, you can guarantee I'm going to be writing something somewhere for somebody, because that's how much I love writing. And so if that's you, go ahead, choose your niche, choose your service offering. After that, you're going to have to start your blog, your portfolio website, because as a writer, when clients come to you, let's say you have a lactation consultant network client or a doula client. And so they have their own home birthing center in, let's say, Austin, Texas, but they need a writer to come in and write 3 blogs every single month that have images, that have search engine optimization. But the thing is, they don't want somebody that's going to use too much AI, because they want it to sound like a human, and they want it to use real stories. And so they're willing to pay you $200 per blog post. That's $600 a month. And so if you put them on a 3-month retainer, that's 600 times 3, that's $1,800. You see how that money adds up as a freelancer when you're not working anybody's 9 to 5? You see how that quickly turns into a very lucrative opportunity for you? So go on ahead and join us and write your way to revenue, because inside of the 2-day workshop that takes the span of about a week from one Sunday to the next Sunday, I actually go through and teach you how to find your niche, how to niche down, which service to choose. And then I show you how to have your corporate contracts and your business contracts. And so you can be like one of my clients, Jaquel, or my other client, Josiah. These people, they started Write Your Way to Revenue, and they found their own clients. Like, they're getting paid to write after taking Write Your Way to Revenue. And both of them live in different areas in Africa. And so I don't know what y'all waiting for. Like, it's already, all this stuff is already there that you need. It's already laid out. Dozens of students have already gone through. You can actually read more about it, the link in the description, because I would hate to leave you hanging in 2024 and 2025, because us writers, we're getting to the creativity bag, and we're not letting nothing stop us, because we have a divine gift that the folks out here need. And so we are going to serve our people in 2024 and 2025. So I'll see you in the workshop. Talk soon.